Good morning, everyone, and welcome live from the Great Hall at our beautiful campus here in Manly. My name is Todd Palioka, and I'll be your MC today for this exciting presentation on our biggest course, which is the Bachelor of Business. Super excited to have two guests with me as well, Lydia and Annabelle, and they'll be telling you a little bit more about their experiences at ICMS from both a faculty level and a student level as well. A few things before we get started. You guys can ask us questions. So there's a little button there that says Ask the MC. Please ask us questions. You can ask anything you like. We may not have all the answers, but all the hard questions I'm giving to Lydia and Annabelle. So make them tricky, make them fun. We'd be happy to answer them for you today. A little bit about our speakers today, we're so privileged to have. Now, Lydia, who is a faculty member here at ICMS, I don't want to embarrass her, but Lydia is one of the most highly regarded lecturers that we have at ICMS. She's not just popular, though. She's incredibly experienced, having many years in working in various different businesses and sectors. Today, Lydia lectures in business management, in events, in tourism, and in hospitality. And you'll also find, when you learn a little bit more about the business degree, that there are many electives that you can choose from. She has a passion for teaching, training, professional development, and mentoring. We could not think of a better person to be walking alongside you as you start your tertiary journey. So Lydia, thank you so much for today. And we also have Annabelle here. Annabelle is a business student with a growing interest in some areas that you can move into, which is the sports and events management industry. Before coming to ICMS, Annabelle was a prefect at St. Luke's Grammar, and she's worked as a personal trainer for 2 years. As you can see how fit Annabelle is right there, but now she's moved into the business field. She also is a brand ambassador at ICMS, and we can find out a little bit more about that later, because there's some amazing things that the brand ambassadors are doing at ICMS, and you can follow them on Instagram. And she's very, very passionate about leadership and empowering young women in business. So it's so great to have you, Annabelle. We're excited to hear from you as well. But let's start with Lydia. Please go ahead, and we can't wait to hear from you both.
Thank you so much, Todd. Welcome, everyone, to ICMS. It's very exciting to have you all here. I'll be talking to you guys about the Bachelor of Business, but I'm going to start a little bit about who I am. But I think Todd's done such a good job that I'm just going to continue on. I want to talk more about who you are. So really, you are here for a reason, and you are here because you know that you have a purpose in life, and you are here because you want to gain more knowledge in education. And look, you want to make a difference in the world. And part of making a difference in the world is to really get yourself educated, to know more about how the world works. And what's really good about ICMS is the fact that we are a smaller institution and we can cater to your needs in an intimate way. That is a blessing. We have some of the best lecturers who are also industry experts. That too is a total blessing. You know, we nurture you and we mentor you to your dream careers. And so you can see here that we are trying to nurture people who are problem solvers, people who are innovative, and so it is a good place that you've come to the right place. All right, so here are some examples of some of your future careers that you can think of. If you want to be a business manager, this is the place to come to. If you want to be a business development coordinator, this is the place to come to. There's so many jobs that are out there that need to be filled by you, and we are here to nurture you. We are here to mentor you and to help you through all of that. Continuing on, what's really awesome about ICMS is the fact that we have campuses, and we also have this opportunity for you to learn online. So as I'm speaking to you right now, I teach online as well. I've taught in the Manly campus as well. And I've also taught, as you can see down there, in the city campus. They're all so awesome. I enjoy, teaching my students in all these different ways of, teaching. And what's really cool is that you can have a virtual tour of the campus on the open day site. So when you have time later on, you're able to have a look at that also. So use your time wisely to have a look at the virtual tour, but also good to know that we are the best in the business. Now, some of you might be asking, why are you the best in the business? As I said earlier on, we have intimate classrooms. In fact, I enjoy teaching classrooms where we don't have so many students, simply because I want to be able to cater to each individual student. I want to be able to have intimate conversations with my students. I want to get to know my students from a heart-to-heart level. And I guess that's what what I guess my students really like. And also, when we're saying active learning, it's not just us as lecturers sort of going through PowerPoints, I want to be able to, lecturers want to be able to go through case studies, real life experiences. That's what we can give to you, because we are industry experts as well as, we're academically sound. We can bring for you the practical elements as well. And what we do very much is we want to sort of get you connected to the industry. And so we do on-site tours as well. And so that is a blessing in itself. All right, so what does graduate capability mean? So by the end of your course and during as well, we want you to be able to be agile leaders. So I'm going to zoom into agile leadership, right? So what do agile leaders look like? You are good communicators. You are adaptable. Whatever happens on the outside, it doesn't matter, because we are adaptable to what is going on. We are entrepreneurs. So what we can do is we see the future. We see things that not everybody can see. We have a vision, and so we zoom into that vision and we fight through to get to whatever it is we're trying to get to. We are problem solvers, and we don't solve problems just the way that everyone else does. We think laterally when we're solving problems. We think outside of the box. We're innovative when we're solving problems. And that's the type of students that we're trying to cater to. This is the type of students that we're trying to foster here at ICMS. Obviously, we want students to be tech savvy. That is the future. And so we want to get you ready for the next generation. And lastly, we want to train you up to be people that are resilient, that are full of grit, mental toughness. That is what we want for you. Because when you get it out into the industry, we want you to be strong enough to lead a people that you too will be creating leaders in the future. So that is what we want to do. And that is what the 21st century graduate looks like. All right. So I'm going to go through a little bit about what electives are, but I think the best thing to do now is to sort of discuss with you what core subject is. So a core subject are the subjects that you must do. Okay, so you have to do core subjects. But then in the 100 level subjects, you'll be choosing 2 electives. And now electives are subjects that you can see here. I've got a list right here on the right-hand side, where you choose the one that aligns with your career goals, or you can tailor it to your interests. Now, domestic students can finish, you guys can finish in 2.3 years, and you can take as long as you want or as short as you want, depending on how you're going to be studying. It could be that you're working on the side, which is really cool, actually. I recommend that you work on the side, because it actually helps us as lecturers that when we're going through the academic, through all the PowerPoints and we're going through our experiences, you can share your experiences with us as well. And I feed off of student experiences as well. And I actually lead my classes learning so much from my students. So that's really cool. All right. So in the second year, you'll be doing what we call the work integrated learning. So this is professional placement. We call it WIL for short. And we are very strong on getting you guys to be practically ready as well, so industry ready. So we get you into the industry in your second year, so that what you've learned, so the fundamentals or the foundational stuff you've learned, but then we take you into the industry and hopefully you can use the expertise and the learnings from school into the field. So there you also have electives, as I discussed earlier on. So you'll choose 4 electives for your 200 level subjects. You can see here, you've got so many to choose from. And I can see here bar and mixology. That one looks very interesting. I might choose that one. I might choose that one to pop in and sort of say hi. But yeah, there you go. So electives. And you can see here, guys, that you've got what we call professional placement. I sort of touched on that earlier on. And pathway to success, the ICMS way. You know, we go through how to write resumes, how to write cover letters, you know, what workplace behavior looks like, even interviews, guys. Look, when I was your age, at your time, I hated interviews. I hated this kind of confrontation. But here I am today, simply because I've had to practice. It's a skill that can be learned, and we're here to teach you, to show you, to mentor you as to how to be, you know, public speakers, how to be good communicators as well. And I wanted to show you that I am also a testimony of someone who has built this skill through time, lots of time in front of the mirror as well, guys. And I'd also like to sort of mention that you can learn more about professional placement by looking on the portal, and you can watch Jen, who happens to be the Will manager. There is a watch anytime video there that you can sort of have a look at later on. All right, so just going back on the slide, look at how many industry partners we have. And there's heaps more. You can see we've got more than 1,000 industry partners. And we're so industry connected that we have an array of industry partners who are ready to take on eager students like you. Eager students who are willing to learn, willing to grow, want to exercise their leadership skills, and are teachable. All right, so your third year subjects look something like this. This is when you are senior in your education, you know a little bit more what you want to do in the future, and you have more time to really think about what electives you want to do now. Look at how many electives we have. The Bachelor of Business is awesome this way because it's so flexible, and you can choose all of these. You can choose, 6 of these electives if you want, depending on what it is you want to do in the future. So that's so cool. It's awesome. And you have so many different avenues that you can come into ICMS. So how can you apply? You can apply directly by speaking to admins. You can early entry, as you can see here, and alternate entry and so forth. So we are here once again to mentor you to your dream career. What's really cool is that we have many intake times. We've got February, March, May, June, August, October, and December in which you can come in, which keeps us busy, which is awesome. And so please do consider and also discuss with the admins team when you'd like to enter. And yeah, so this is us. And you can see all the different courses that we have on the right-hand side. And yeah, it's very exciting. Welcome once again to ICMS. I wish you all the best and can't wait to see you in my classroom.
Thank you so much, Lydia. And I know sometimes I sneak into your classroom too, even though I really shouldn't, but it's amazing to hear from you, and just so important for all of the students out there to know that we have lecturers like Lydia who really care about you on a personal level too. And that's something that a lot of big universities don't do, and the lecturer won't even know your name. And just hearing all the student stories about their experiences with Lydia and how they've helped them their growth and get better in their profession has been fantastic. So thank you so much, Lydia. And if you do have questions for Lydia, you can go on to the Ask the MC. It's the blue button, and ask her anything. And after Annabelle has spoken, we will answer those questions live. So thanks, Lydia. Now I'd like to pass it over to Annabelle, who's going to tell us a little bit about her ICMS journey.
Thank you, Todd, and thank you, Lydia, as well. Good morning, everyone. I'm very excited to be here to talk to you all about a Bachelor of Business from a student's perspective and what it can also mean for you in the future as well. So today I wanted to share a little bit more about my journey to ICMS and show you what really makes up a Bachelor of Business. But I also wanted to relate to anyone who may feel like their career roadmap just isn't quite adding up. So I left school in 2018, and I was one of those students that when asked, what do you want to do, just smiled and said, I'm still deciding, when I knew all too well that I had no idea where I wanted to end up. So as the months rolled on after leaving school and the pressure began to grow, I became more passionate about health and fitness. And I thought this would be my path. I thought I had my light bulb moment where it all came together and I figured out where I'd end up. So I studied to be a personal trainer and I practiced in the field for 2 years before I just felt like something was still missing. And I realized that my light bulb moment was a bit of a false alarm and I had come to yet another mountain in my career roadmap. So I have an older sister and she studies at ICMS. So I'd always heard great things about the college. And after learning a bit about a Bachelor of Business and how it offers a range of opportunities, I thought, why not? Even though I did business in my HSC, I didn't do very well. I didn't really like it and I didn't find it interesting. But for some reason, I still took that leap and I enrolled. Now, fast forward 1.5 years, this degree has completely changed the way that I view the world, and it encourages me to question everything, big or small. And with a growing passion for business, I can safely say that I am so happy that I took that leap. Now, a Bachelor of Business has 2 major standout elements to me that I want to share with you today. Firstly, it shows us the reality of business, not just the wins you make when you're a big, successful company, but the true effort and the determination, the wit and the skill it truly takes to get there. Like I spoke about before with my previous studies, I stuck it out for 2 years as a personal trainer before coming to terms with the fact it just wasn't for me. But lucky I did, because I might still be asking myself, what if I hadn't explored all avenues of that career? And that's no different here. It's something that a Bachelor of Business shows us. It gives us an insight into all the different areas of business that are just waiting for us. So although I don't think I'll ever be an accountant, and I don't fancy taking the title of an economist, and I can't say I'm your next up-and-coming financial advisor, I understand how to properly communicate and work as a team through the group assessments in accounting. I can now proficiently use Excel, and I do every day in my life and my studies, thanks to statistics. And I have learned how to conduct thorough and effective research from the skills in economics. Business and jobs in the real world aren't a one-size-fits-all method. Everyone has different strengths and different weaknesses, and that's what a Bachelor of Business picks up on. Those who are open-minded will learn lessons in every situation, even if they aren't the lessons being taught. Secondly, I wanted to show you what stood out to me at ICMS, which is also my reply if you were to ask me what my favourite thing about ICMS is. It's the fact that we as students are individuals. We are not numbers. I have never been somewhere where so many people care about the things that I'm not good at. And like I mentioned previously, we all have our strengths and we all have our weaknesses, and that's what makes us the individuals at ICMS. I have discovered that there is something so motivating about going to college every day, knowing that my opinions matter, getting to share my thoughts and my views. But not only that, I'm encouraged to. We're all encouraged to speak our minds, start conversations, learn to communicate our thoughts, even if they aren't the popular opinion that's going around. And I've had my eyes opened to different perspectives and opinions that I was set on, completely blown out of the water by both my peers and my lecturers, thanks to these discussions. And for years, we've viewed university as a 2,000-person lecture hall where you're a collation of marks and papers. But I can knowingly say that there is not a single piece of information that's more motivating to just go and study than the fact that your thoughts and your opinions matter, despite any other factor about you. So one class that stood out to me was a class that I took last trimester. It's called Unlocking Your Leadership Potential. It teaches you the skills you need to access your agile and greatest leadership capabilities. With 6 whole students in the class, that was including me, it gave us the opportunity to learn about ourselves. Because in fact, the better you know yourself, the better leader you'll become. With 12 weeks of 3-hour lectures that felt like 30 minutes, countless discussions and simulations on how we would all handle different leadership situations, I never imagined some of my biggest emotional and personal discoveries would be made in a classroom. And this is all because your lecturers are your cheerleaders. They want to see you succeed more than us as students will ever know. Because like I said before, you're not a number to them. They see us as our strengths and they see us as our weaknesses, and they'll always see you as your potential. So in short, I thought, although I still haven't had my light bulb moment where I figure out what my perfect job is, I have now been exposed to hundreds of opportunities that I may have never seen before. I've come to the realization that this career roadmap that we all talk about never was and never will be one straight line. But through the course of completing a Bachelor of Business, I have been equipped with the skills to face whatever challenge comes my way. I have grasped the fact that self-confidence isn't just about what you look like, but it's knowing you can back yourself in any situation that you're faced with. You believe in your capabilities and you know how to handle each situation like the leader you were made to be. I wanted to round out today with a concept from the creativity and innovation class that I've taken this trimester. We were watching a clip of a man called Peter Fisk, and he talks about how will you lead the future, talking about how successful leaders and innovators will have a dream. They understand they can't do it on their own, and they'll draw upon those around them who have remarkable capabilities to make this dream come true. So it's safe to say that I would choose any one of my peers at ICMS to help turn a dream into reality. Using our imagination to bring together those different capabilities to make a dream come true, bringing together all of our networks to be the winners of the future. And I hope that any of you who've ever wanted to be a part of our team here at ICMS will bring your capabilities and bring your imagination to learn all that you can, take all the experiences that come your way, and I hope you have your light bulb moment and turn your dream into a reality. Thank you.
Wow. Well, I don't know if I've had a light bulb moment, but I need you to write my speeches, Annabelle, because that was absolutely unbelievable. So thank you so much. And thank you for your truth as well. I think it's really important that, people know that we asked you to write that and that's what you feel. And it's really, really incredible. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, that was amazing. So, look, I think it would be great now to open it up to the group. We can do a bit of a Q&A. There are some questions coming in, and I'd like to actually start with you, Annabelle, because listening to you and you mentioned that you weren't sure about what you wanted to study, and not everyone has a big sister like you. So
I'm very lucky.
Yeah. So it would be great just maybe give some sage wisdom or advice on students that are deciding now. What would you recommend they do if they still have no idea what they want to do?
You know what's really funny is that I am probably still a year and a half away from finishing my degree, and I'm not 100% sure. But the difference is that I'm not really worried about it anymore, because I know, like at the beginning, I had no idea. I was so closed-minded to like jobs that were out there. But even just coming and just being educated and having a bit more information about the world itself, I just know that whatever happens and wherever I go after ICMS, it's just going to be what's right. So my advice would be to do your research into jobs that are out there, because you never know, like there's a job for everything. And I remember I was so surprised at everything that I was learning and how many jobs and how many people there are around. So do some research, but don't stress about it too much. Just take every opportunity you can and do what you can to kind of help your journey along itself.
No, great advice. And I think, guys, the Bachelor of Business is so perfect for that, because as Lydia explained, there's so many electives you can choose from. So everyone really needs that business background. It's important to have, but you don't need to know exactly what you want to do. And maybe you might never know what you would love to do, but it's important to get educated and also just explore all different options that you have. So thank you so much, Annabelle, for that. Lydia, I'd like to ask you, just in terms of, I always hear that you engage your students so much, and without giving away all your trade secrets, can you give us an idea of why your classes are a little bit different and your philosophy to teaching that I think will be different to a lot of stories that we hear about the university-style lecturers?
Yeah, sure, Todd. I'd like to go back to Annabelle actually and sort of say that your storytelling, the story that you told is very heartfelt, and as a lecturer, these are the type of testimonies that make teaching worthwhile. So I hear what you have to say, and it makes me continue on. It encourages me as a lecturer, and might start off with that actually is that students want to be told a story. They want to hear what you have to say, and I think that storytelling plays it plays a huge role in the classroom. I like to get to know each student individually. I happen to know how to count in Vietnamese. So with my Vietnamese students, I shock them and I sort of count in Vietnamese and they're just like, what? I can speak a bit of Spanish as well, and I talk to them, to my Spanish speakers in Spanish as well. And so it's about getting to know my students, before I throw, content at them. I want to get to know them, and I want them to feel that, yes, Lydia is credible. She knows what she's talking about. I want them to have that respect first, and I want to give them the dignity that they deserve first and foremost. And a little bit of Brene Brown, if you guys know who she is, about, being a bit vulnerable. I'm not afraid to talk to my students about my failures as well. I like to humanize my situation and talk to them about, when I was an intern, I remember doing this and that. And I remember, crying and I was really upset. But hey, then we get up and we try again. And so students like that kind of story. I teach the way that I like to be taught as well. So it's working. So I think, it's something's going well.
Oh, absolutely. And thank you. And I think that I've noticed that if guys, just to paint the picture a little bit, my office is at the city campus, and it's next to the classroom that Lydia teaches in. So she may not know this, but I can listen in, and it's incredible. And the students are so engaged, and it feels like it's more of a mentorship session than that teacher-student relationship. And I think that's so important. You're over the age of 18 when you usually start with us. So, you're adults, and to be treated like that and given the respect that Lydia does is amazing. So thank you. Annabelle, there is a question here regarding how many people are in your classes. You mentioned 6, which sounds good, particularly, I guess, if you get along with the other 5. But can you give us a bit of an idea of the average class sizes that you've had?
Yeah, so I think 6 is definitely the smallest that I've had. And then I would say anywhere, probably average, I would probably say about 12. I know it's different for all different subjects, but especially with business, because you have so many different electives that you can choose from. The classes do tend to be smaller because there's a bigger variety to choose from. And I love it. I honestly wouldn't have it any other way. And I obviously get along with everyone. So it's really good.
Annabelle, it'd also be great, just we've got time for a few more questions, but if you could just tell the people listening and watching about your Instagram page and your brand ambassador stuff that you're doing, because I think it would be a great experience for all of these prospective students to be able to follow you and see what you're doing with that.
Yeah, so the brand ambassadors, actually, it's been really fun because I kind of went into it thinking that it was just going to be a way to show what I do and show to the uni that I go to, and it would just be a little bit more mundane. But I've gotten so much out of it in the sense that ICMS is so unique that you kind of don't see all the special things about it until someone directly tells you or you see it for yourself. So it's been really good to kind of show people the ins and outs of ICMS and what it really is like to go to college every day. And, it's not 100% of the time, it's not rainbows and butterflies, and there are hard times and you do have to work hard. So I've really enjoyed showing so many people the smaller side of it that you don't see in all the ads, but the real side of it. And I've had so many connections made and have had so many people follow me and reach out just because of it, which has been awesome.
Yeah, that's so cool. So guys, you can follow the ICMS campus Instagram page, and Annabelle's posts are there. You can try and find her as well. I don't know if I want to give out your whole Instagram page, Annabelle, but look, it's something really cool for us, because we want you students to see what it's really like rather than just a brochure. Lydia, there's a question here from Felicity, and it's asking, what type of sectors can students get into while getting into the Bachelor of Business? I know it's quite broad, but some things that you'd recommend.
It is a broad question. So I can always go back into the slides and sort of talk about the different sectors, but you can get into hospitality, you can get into events, you can get into business, you can get into sports if you choose as well. The Bachelor of Business really is the gift that keeps on giving, and it gives you the fundamental knowledge of what business managers look like, what leaders look like. So you can actually get into any sort of sector, and it will help you really understand how to be the best leader that you possibly can be and bring out the potential within you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So guys, a few things to sum up. If you have any admin or admissions questions or just any questions in general, you can go over to the live chat now. There are people waiting to answer any of your questions. Remember that we are in UAC. We are a small institution. We cannot accept a lot of people. So there will be waiting lists this year. So please put us down as a preference if you would like to be like Annabelle and study and have Lydia as a lecturer. Put us down for the Bachelor of Business, and please put us #1 preference. And there is still time to apply for early entry as well. I know it's hard this year. I know this is a very crazy year for you guys. We feel for you. We'll be as flexible as possible. We're in this together. So we just can't wait to see you next year. Lydia and Annabelle, thank you so much for today. It's been amazing. And I look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thank you.
Okay, see you later.